Hello and welcome to Sheffield Live. You are watching or listening to African Voices with me, Baillor Jalloh from the studio, and my colleague Enoch Karimba joining us from home. Hi, Enoch.
Hi, Baillor.
Right. As part of our COVID-19 awareness raising, we've got two special guests here today, and those two guests are from an organization called Sisters with One Voice. And during the first height of the pandemic, they've been working hard to support women, and they've been doing their own bit to raise awareness about COVID-19 within the ethnic minority communities and also among women. And one of the ladies tonight is Zainab Deen. Hi, Zainab.
Oh, hi, Baillor.
And also next to Zainab, we've got Linda Agricole Walmsley. Hi, Linda.
Hi, Baillor.
Welcome both of you on the show. As I said, you are part of Sisters with One Voice. So let's start by you, Zainab. You telling me what Sisters with One Voice, what do you do and how it all started?
Well, Sisters with One Voice is a very unique group, and it's very close to the hearts of both myself and Linda. And basically, Sisters with One Voice started by us bringing our life experiences together. We need to go in and comfortable expressing themselves and try to develop themselves so that they can be the best they can be. So that's how we form Sisters with One Voice. So it's not just about forming an organization, but it comes from the deepest of our hearts, because we've gone through life experiences that triggers this organization to come into effect.
Excellent. Enoch, any question coming yourself in?
Thank you, Zainab. It's a very good organization. It's how, it is part of how you guys came together. It's close to your hearts, as you just mentioned. What are what is that triggered, for you to come up with this concept of Sisters with One Voice?
Well, first of all, I knew Linda, who is also a founder from the community, and us being in the community, we've got the opportunities to meet different people in different aspects of life. And whilst we're in the community, we had a chance to become friends and then talk about our experiences. And then we see that there is something lacking, that we don't have this opportunity. We don't have this place where we can go and discuss important issues that affect us, or how we can find a way to motivate ourselves. So we thought about it, and we spend a lot of time dwelling on this, and through discussion, we try and find a group that we can, locate ourselves in, but unfortunately we couldn't get something that we're really looking for. So that's how we come about, doing Sisters with One Voice.
Right. Linda, if I may just bring yourself in as well into the conversation. From my understanding as well, this organization was established in 2018. And since then, just as Zainab has said, you've been working together, and one of the aims was kind of like to bring women together, especially from ethnic minorities. So since you started, how have you been saying things?
To be honest, it was to bring women from, different background, women who's, vulnerable, women who's been through stuff, so we can share our experience, motivate one another. And since we've started, we've had some positive feedback. We've seen some difference in some of the women who's coming and over access our service, who's now feel comfortable, and we've built relationship with them also. But still, I will say, when it comes to the minority group, it's like, I don't know if it's the stigma I really wish that, you know, they will come out more, because one thing that I've learned also, you know, meeting other women, hearing other women's story, it's amazing how working together, it's, you know, it's build our confidence, build your confidence, motivate you, you know, to do things, to get out of your comfort zone. So not all life issues, you know, you can, it can be bad. Do you know what I mean? We can learn from one another. And like I said, we've had some great achievement. We've built some fantastic relationship with organization, with women who's, you know, who's got businesses, and we've been able to signpost people, you know what I mean? But still, I think there's still a lot of work for us to do. And I think there's a stigma that's, you know, that needs to be, to break, to just make women, you know, open up, and it's okay to talk.
That's excellent there. I can see Enoch nodding.
Yeah, I just kind of like, you know, been excited as to how you guys managed to bring this together. It's not easy bringing women together, you know, and it's not easy trying to persuade or explain people what your vision is. But to be able to build such a platform where you manage to bring these ladies together and tell your vision to these people, I think it's just, you know, a commendable experience that you guys have had. My question to you, Linda, is what has been the challenges of building this organization, you know, assisted with one voice? I'm I'm assuming you're more than two guys, you know, two ladies, you know, here. Or is there any other bigger structures that you have in place that, you know, you the founders are working with other people, and how, you know, what's your partnership working like, and what are the challenges, you know, that you have faced so far?
I'll be honest with you. When it comes to partnership, me and Zainab, we work brilliant together. I couldn't ask for a better working partner. We have got a fantastic, you know, working relationship, a really good understanding of, you know, of each other. We can, if there's any issues, we can approach each other and be open to one another, which is brilliant. I think it's the challenges is, you know, it's like I've said before, it's trying to get more women, you know, involved, seeing our vision and working with us. And also, I would say, because we are mothers, so we're not getting paid for this, you know what I mean? It's fitting it in our time and juggling it all around. And it's like when we get busy, especially with the pandemic now, we're doing weekly session every week online, is setting that up and being a mother and having our full-time job alongside that. So they are the little challenges that we face. I would say that we face, yeah.
So in terms of, as I introduced earlier, that you guys have been working hard as well, even though you've got your own challenges or being as mothers, but you've also been trying to raise awareness about COVID-19 and also trying to help other women. So how has COVID affected your life and that of other women, and also at the same time trying to raise awareness about the pandemic?
I will answer to that. First of all, being a mother is really a challenging time. We all know, you know, there is nowhere to go to take kids, and you know, you just focus in the house. There is more time we are spending at home than usual. So it can be distressing for both you as a parent and the kids. So that's bringing a lot of challenges to us. And also, it also affecting the people that we are working with. Mentally, it's disturbing for a lot of people. We've all seen that there is a rise in mental health, you know, in people because of the COVID. So all those challenges are coming together, and trying to juggle that on top of, you know, you dealing with your own stuff and then trying to help others. That's a huge challenge for us that we've been facing. Yeah.
So far, what have you been doing since the pandemic struck?
Well, we started by, firstly, when the pandemic started, we sat down because we didn't know how to help the situation, as we know it affects everyone. So what we started doing firstly was to see how we can help, the vulnerable. So in the first place, we started doing some meal for older people. So we are doing some few packages that we give out to older people at the start of it all. But since it was coming from our own pockets, it was really, really hard. So we did that for few months. We did for March. And then we had to stop it because we had no finance. We were financing that ourselves. And then we started thinking about what else we can do to help, especially because we had women accessing our service that we put a stop to because of the funding that we had ended. So we now decided to do another funding application to help women, especially mentally, so that we can find a way, because we all know everything is done online these days. So we can find a way that they can still access the service to online channel. Luckily for us, we are funded by the government through the big lottery funding to do these sessions. So we do a weekly session that our aim for this year is sort of dealing with pandemic. So all our session is aimed at trying to take people's mind off the situation, not taking away that it's not there, but to help them to cope with it better. So we have different topics every week to, try to help people to understand themselves and to see how to cope with different, situations. Yeah.
Can I add? Can I add
sure.
to that?
Mm-hmm.
So what we also getting with the weekly session is like we're getting experienced people. It's like people like who may be dealing with counseling, who's got the experience when it comes to mental health. The session that they're doing, like the health and well-being session. So who's done it before, and then they come in and they're able to deliver that session, and we all learn from it, basically.
Enoch?
Yeah, thank you for that, ladies. I think it's absolutely fantastic, for all these activities that you've been trying to pass on to and share, with all these other ladies. My question to Zainab is, how have you been able to mobilize? Because Sheffield has a huge dynamic of, ladies from various ethnic backgrounds, right? Is that is it obviously we understand the concept BAME, or Black, Asian, and minority ethnic groups. What are your targets? Is there any particular targets that you guys are looking at, or is it just kind of like a generic, all ladies from regardless of whatever ethnic background? Is it like every person comes in and you guys do support them?
Yes, we are looking into all ladies, because when we started, firstly, what we had to do was we did a lot of networking, and then we meet different types of women, and all these women were really, really fantastic. And we've got to learn different kind of stuff by doing this. And, we are learning different cultures. We are learning different aspects of lives, because all these women have something that they bring into Swerve. And the main aim of Swerve is to make women be the best that they can be. So if you want to be the best that you can be, you have to tap into every little boxes. So we are trying to tick all those boxes by bringing all women together. And if you bring all women together, it brings different ideas into the platform. So that's what we're looking. So we're not targeting a specific group of women.
Mm-hmm. I was just wondering, you mentioned at the beginning that you guys started by kind of like providing meals for the elderly, but then you had to stop that because of the funding had ended or due to funding. And looking at Sheffield in general, or across the country generally, we've seen Black and ethnic minorities have been disproportionately affected by COVID-19. And I was talking to another group the other day, which targeted like Black people sometime, or ethnic minorities in terms of food-wise, because, a lady that I was talking to kind of like told me sometime they get people that really needs referrals or that really needs help. But we us being Africans or others from the Caribbean, so sometimes the type of food, that they get from food banks is really not something that they are keen for, because it's not their type of diet. So I was just wondering, your group, like Sisters with One Voice, knowing from the African Caribbean background, where you kind of like looking at that as something to target women, where you'll be able to supply them the kind, or to get them or to refer them to the kind of food or to the kind of diet that they will be needing, knowing that some of these Africans will not be able to get that, or some of the Caribbean sisters will not be able to get the type of food that they will be needing? Linda?
Zainab is the one that usually deal with. Zainab is the foodie one.
well, that can go to Zainab then.
She's the one that basically, I'm the one that does the advertising, the signposting. She's the one that cook.
So she's the frontline worker then. So Zainab, that goes to you.
Yes. Well, basically, I love food. Everyone, if you're close to me, I love food. So for me, my first instinct when the pandemic started was, oh my God, food. What's going to happen now? Because I know I can't live without my food. So I spoke to Linda, and what we were doing, just to point it out, we were not getting funding for that. We were doing it out of our own pocket. So we started by doing like, we were doing like a bit of some rice. We call it jollof rice, but every single person can eat that type of rice, because even the English people call it fried rice, So the rice we were preparing was one that any person from any background can eat. And we were doing chicken to go with it. And we know everyone goes with chicken as well. And then we do some salad. So that was the package that goes out every Wednesday. We were doing it. So it was coming from our own pockets, not from the government or any other funding source.
Mm.
So as you can see, we used to do like around 70 bowls of different rice, chicken, and salads every week. And that becomes hard on our pockets, obviously. So that's why we had to stop. There were a lot of...
How long did you go for that? Sorry to interrupt there.
We did it for more than 12 weeks.
Wow. That
Yeah.
was really great.
Yeah, it was good, and people liked it, and people were looking forward every Wednesday. Our numbers, we started with 50, but then every Wednesday our numbers were going up. People were sending message, oh, this person need and that person needs. So our numbers were increasing every week, and it becomes really hard. So we had to stop it, but a lot of people were disappointed that we had to stop, and some of them did not understand that we are doing it out of our own pocket. They thought, maybe we having funding for it. But no, just to make it clear here, we had no funding for this at all.
Yeah, thank you very much for that, for the clarification. My apologies. It's a shame that you had to stop it because it was coming out of your own pocket. But you guys did a really wonderful job there, especially at a time when it was mostly needed, at a time when many people couldn't afford it, and when the situation was really, really hard, and you guys were there for people who couldn't afford it. So how, I know you mentioned that people were disappointed, but in terms of now working with women, looking at your group, it's now 2 years on. What have you learned so far from the groups that you've been working with or the women that you've been working with? How are they receiving your services?
I think we are known out there. We've built some brilliant relationship, and we've got that group of people that, you know, that will come to us, will approach us. We've got some good followers on, you know, on Facebook and Instagram. People will reach out to us in those 2 years, which is, and, you know, we've got some really good feedback, which is really good. So we know, for me, I always say it's not about the numbers, it's about the impact, the difference that we are making. And if like 2-3 people come, you know, during the week, and even people that was having our service before lockdown last year, they still now coming on our online, you know, weekly session, online Zoom, or we've even got some coordinator that wants to keep working with us, build that relationship. So that is really, really good, you know, because it doesn't take years to build, you know, organization successful. It takes, you know, it doesn't take money, it takes proper, you know, a lot of years to build those good working, you know, relationships. So it's just like, I think, again, I'll be honest, I would really like to break into the minority, to like, because more people from the, you know, from the Black origin to come, you know what I mean? It's like, to come and approach us, come and talk to us, and come use our, you know, use our service, break the stigma that's out there.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that, Linda. I think it is really good that, you know, you guys are working so hard to make sure that you reach out to pretty much, you know, all the ladies within all this corner. I mean, we know the dynamics, you know, of the population of the BAME communities within Sheffield. I wonder whether, you know, you've had some sort of like method of communication. How have you been trying to communicate, you know, rather than having to go through social media? Because not all these other people, you know, from a different background might have the technology know-how, you know, that might be able to even have a Facebook account or a Zoom account or, you know, an email, let alone a Facebook account. You know, some people don't even know how to open an email. So how have you been able to reach out? Because some of the knowledge that I have with all these other organizations have been working on ground, you know, during the pandemic, they've been in existence for some time, although they've been sort of like invisible. But with the work they've done tremendous work, you know, to help and support the community. You know, you mentioned, you know, people being confident, being come out, you know, to have a chat with you guys and see whether you can work together. I think the line of communication is very important. What things are you currently doing to make sure that you reach out to more numbers?
Oh, I think I think I'll answer to that. Firstly, as I said, we are from the community. So we've been talking to people, we've been contacting people to join. The problem we are facing with especially the Black community is that because the things that we are dealing with can be really personal, to be honest. Like the discussion we are having can be, you know, really personal. And some people, you know, are shying away from them types of discussion. And sometimes when we speak to people and ask them, you know, why aren't you accessing the service? They will tell you that, oh, it's because I don't want to be pointed out to talk. I don't want to talk. I feel shy to talk in public, or I feel shy to, you know, speak out. So that fear of them not wanting to, you know, speak out in public or things is them using like, we are having some of the things we are trying to deal with right now is about us using our voice. And we know from our community, people just to talk in front of 2-3 people, they get really nervous. So that's the biggest blockage that is in front of them. It's not like they don't want to access the service or they don't need it, but it's that fear of talking to people that they haven't met before. That's the problem we are facing with them. And we are doing face-to-face communication. We are doing telephone communication with them. We are sending out WhatsApp messages. So we've been trying our best to reach out to as many people as we can. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting there. I think we've got Francesca Okonko, maybe who is trying to join us as well. But before I bring in Francesca as well, because I think she's having some technical issues at the minute. And yeah, Linda, I just wanted to get an overview of right now. How will you describe things? Because we know that the first pandemic, when it struck, it caught everyone off guard. No one was prepared for it. But the second pandemic now, or the second lockdown, there was a lot of notice. People, were kind of like, I wouldn't say prepared, but they knew what they were doing. So what do you think you've learned from the first lockdown or the first pandemic that you think you are now taking to the second lockdown or the second wave that is making things better, that is improving your services, especially to those people that you are helping out?
I think the first pandemic, when it hit, a lot of people choose to isolate themselves. People that didn't want to talk about it. People were scared. There's the fear of the unknown and not knowing. I think with the second one, people is adjusting better. Even us as founders, we are more comfortable, because we are all, at the end of the day, we are all human. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be honest. And the thing is, one thing with Suave, and this is coming from both me and Zainab, I will say, is we've never shied away to share our own experience. As mothers, working mothers, we've always been happy to use and speak openly about our own experience, about how we face a situation, which in some way we make ourselves vulnerable, but it's vulnerable in a good way. So with the second lockdown, we've able to, especially when we've had our clients, we've had people that approach us and said, okay, I use my voice, like I'll give you an example, to work with, as my business. But now with the second lockdown, of course, a lot of people is on internet. I'm finding it really, really hard, to work. What do I do? So we've been able to share our own experience because we've walked in that shoes in the first lockdown. We've able to share our experience, how we dealt with the first lockdown to our clients. And I think that makes them feel a bit ease, the people that approach us. And because we open to them, they feel comfortable to come to us, if you know what I mean, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah, I get your point. So in terms of collaboration or partnership, we know the city is wide, and the local authority or other organizations as well each and everyone has been trying to do their own bit in order to help their communities. So how will you describe right now? Have you kind of like approach, like, let's say like the local authority for a hand so that you can collaborate together with other organizations where you can have more voice, especially like within the ethnic minority communities?
That's not one thing we've done. We've just keep, I think, ourselves on social media, working with organizations that we've already linked up to, on social media. There's some brilliant organization that's out there that we've been working with. I think maybe one of the reasons, that we've not reached out to the local authority, because everything now, there's the queue, there's a backlog. Do you know what I mean? When it comes to accessing service anywhere, do you know what I mean? So we felt that, we'll just get on, do our bits. Do you know what I mean? Help where we can, if you know what I mean.
Interesting there. So Zainab, if I may bring you back in again. So right now, how are you finding things from the time you started? Are you finding it now easier that at least now you've got the connections, you've got the women, or people are now finding it easier to talk to you compared to the beginning? Because at that time, as you mentioned earlier, it was a bit difficult, especially sometimes with the stigma within the Black community people, like for example, with men, we say, come on, man up and that kind of thing. So, and a lot of people sometimes choose to keep themselves to themselves or to keep their problems to themselves. Say, look, maybe when I share my problems, people don't do nothing. It's those kind of ideas. So how are you finding things right now? Are people kind of getting the confidence now to talk to you, to know that you are there as an organization to help them?
I think honestly, at the moment, it's getting easier in the sense that we're getting known and people are more comfortable to come to us and they're willing to share their story with us. So it's getting easier in that area. But on the workload for us, it's getting more harder day by day. Remember, us two ladies haven't been, we haven't had, we built this organization from scratch. And we go into it without, no expertise, no training. So we are doing everything on our own. Me, especially, myself and Linda, we put on so much work into it. So that alone was really heavy on us. And on top of that, trying to get people to trust you, trying to get people to understand your vision behind what you're doing. Because sometimes people see things, but really, they might understand what you're doing, but they do not understand the vision that you had. So for us, it's the vision more than any other thing. We had women come to us and say, why are you doing this for free? You're doing so much, but why are you not getting paid for this? But that's because, not like we don't like money. Oh, God knows, me and Linda, we love money. We've got kids to feed, but we had a vision, and our vision is to make every woman be the best that they can be. And we had, men who are now thinking that, oh, this group is now going to teach women to go against them. And that's not what we are aiming at all or doing. So we have all this problem. We have men that will stop their women not to come because they think, oh, you're going to discuss our marital affairs there. And that's not what we're looking for. When we had the session, we are creating the session based on personal growth. We are targeting the ladies' personal growth. It's more about building you as a woman to stand strong, as a woman to cope with your abilities and your strength. So that's what we are targeting. So that's the vision that people do not understand. So it hasn't get easy in that area because people still will not see the vision. It's only few people that can see this vision. And those are the people that we are really willing to work closely with us. We've got a very fantastic group of ladies, that deals with, they've got their own organization and they are brilliant. They believed in us, and these ladies have been supporting us. They've seen the vision and they've been working hard. They've been trying to, motivate and bring other people. So it's not just us that is doing the work. We've got people that are also, working with us to make sure that our vision becomes successful. So we've got good partnership working ladies as well.
Right. Thank you so much, Zainab. I think that's very motivating, to just even understand that you guys have achieved so much in a short period of time. I know it's still, a journey that you guys are still undertaking, and and you're not giving up. Within the long strategy or the long-term strategy, what are the things in place that you have for the ladies out there? Because, you know, this pandemic shall come, shall go. After this pandemic is over, what things have you planned? What things do you have in the pipeline for these ladies to be looking forward to? Also, Zainab, you did mention a very, very important point that, you know, uh, for example, you know, women from the African heritage, there is that, you know, thing or traditional culture barrier that might feel, you know, if a husband is at home and I won't say he feels threatened, but you know, he wants his wife to progress. He wants his wife, you know, to be that strong woman, you know, in the house, in the sense that you know she's contributing something as well. But how are you trying to educate women on this type of, you know, element? Because as a man, you know, if I feel I've got the thing at the back of my mind thinking, oh, my wife is going to talk about my affairs in the house or our marriage or relationship, kids and things like that. And women love to talk sometimes, you know, let's not forget that. But are you not trying to address this lady in the sense that you're communicating to the man indirectly through this, uh, uh, through the women? Because the women might take a positive message back home and the man might try to understand that. But if you don't address some of these small, I wouldn't call them small, but they are small in the eyes of some other people that don't share the same culture and traditional barriers. So, do you have something in place that you can address these women that, you know what, your husbands, let them be rest assured that everything's okay. We're trying to empower ourselves. We're trying to build a structure for us as a home, as a race, you know, and as ethnic minority groups in this country. So, what are the things that you guys have in place, or if you don't have those things in place, are you planning to implement them?
Shall I answer that?
Yeah, just go
Okay,
on.
I'll answer that. So, when we did our launch at the when we first started Swerve, one of our theme was to celebrate women, achievement, to celebrate women as a whole. Now, this year we were going to do a similar event, but then of course the pandemic come. I think one thing that, man needs, the message we want to send out there now is that, you know what, it's good. The men also needs to like celebrate the achievement of their wife, of their girlfriend, of their partner. Do you know what I mean? We are learning from one another. Us coming together, it doesn't mean we are gossiping about, I will use the word gossiping about the marital affairs. But what can we learn from one another? Say if someone's been in a situation, yes, it could be any kind of situation, or, there'd be problem at school with the children, or want to, there's loads of things that can place barriers in our life. Coming together, we can actually learn from one another. We can actually motivate one another, and share our experience where we'll be able to remove those barriers. So it's not, someone might have gone through a divorce. How after the divorce did they deal with the situation? Do you know what I mean? It could be different life issues that we face. So it's not all down to like, the negative stuff, but maybe learning, taking some positive from the negative, and that's how we celebrate, one another, I would say, if Zainab wants to add anything to it.
Yes, definitely. I will say, in terms of what we're doing to give men that assurance, we've got people that, have accessed the service, and we've got them say back to us that, oh, I didn't know this is how, effective this session can be. And sometimes our session becomes like a therapy, becomes therapeutical. People get into intense, emotional feelings that helps them to now look at, where they are in life and where they want to go, what their goals are. because sometimes, you've got plans and you don't know how to walk through those plans to reach your goal. But these are the kind of things we're looking into. Like, say, for example, we've worked with people that have, a business idea and they don't know where to start or where to go or what to do, or they even doubting themselves that this idea they've got is not good enough. But then, working with them has helped them to actually start their own business. And it's always works. And I can say from my own experience, the amount of learning I've had, I might seem to be a founder, but I've also benefited from this group because I've learned to be strong, I've learned to grow, I've learned to use my voice to get what I want and to, access the right things. So if I wasn't in 12, I wouldn't say I wouldn't have done it, but I probably wouldn't know where to start or where to go. But because I've been, part of it, we are organizing the session based on the needs that we think that people needed out there. So, and it's working perfectly. It's just about, taking that first step to attend one session. All we say to people is just give it a try. Try and see. And most of the people that we've spoke to and they've given it a try, they keep coming back. We didn't have to tell them come back next week or come back the other time. They come on their own. So it's just that first step that is difficult for them to take. So there are things that we've put in place that when you come, you want to keep coming because of what you're gaining out of it. So it is there.
Right. Thank you very much, ladies. Unfortunately, we're running out of time. We've only got about a minute left. So I just wanted to ask a quick question to both of you within that minute, but give me short answers. So if a person wants to get involved, how can they get involved? And the other question is, what would be your tips to other upcoming organizations or to other organizations who are, or to other people that are thinking of starting what you've started and, trying new adventures?
Okay. I'll be quick. So for anybody who's thinking about having, an organization, don't give up on your dream. It's not easy. The first couple of months, you might have setback. You might have, a lot of no, but carry on pushing forward, whatever you're doing, whatever, passion you've got, carry on pushing forward, believing in yourself, believing in whatever you're trying to do. And slowly, it will all come out. It will all work out in the end. So, yes.
Right, Zainab?
That quickly, it's about, being open and being honest and, being willing to work with other people as well. You have to, be honest in your goals and know where you're heading at, and always see the clear vision. Do not forget about your vision, because it's quick for you to, take your mind off it, because there's lots of things going around. But if your eyes is fixed on that vision and you're willing to work hard and to work with other people, then that's the way to go.
Well, thank you very much, ladies. It's been a pleasure having both of you talking to us about what you do. And just to remind our viewers, for those who might have just joined us, we were having Zainab Deen, a co-founder, and Linda Agricole Walmsley, who is also the co-founder of Sisters with One Voice, an organization that works with women across Sheffield or South Yorkshire. They are there to empower and help women. And that was African Voices from me, Baillor, Jalloh, and my colleague joining us from home, Enoch, Karimba. Until next week, and to you, our viewers, thank you very much for watching and have a very lovely evening.